Questions for me, man, so I can walk.
I mean, you're part of the technical team. We have a big role to play in terms of getting the players back after the disappointment of the Champions League. From a technical team point of view, how have things been in trying to get the players back to where they were before?
Well. That is gone, man. It's gone, and we have to look at the next on the calendar. It's a different calendar. We have to embrace the next challenge, and it should also give us excitement that now you are going to the Club World Cup. In as much as you also have to pick the pieces from what you went through in the CAF Champions League. But we are excited to go to the US and also compete with the best teams in the world. It's a Club World Cup.
Kutola, earlier you were talking about that this is more than just about football. It's about representing the country, the sub-Saharan Africa, the other teams that come from North Africa. Does the brand of football that you play there also matter?
It does matter. I think this is bigger than football. This is deeper than football. Not only bigger, but deeper than football. And I don't want to be controversial, but I have to be very realistic. We are going to be at the Club World Cup. There's going to be a lot of clubs available there. And maybe one must throw a question to audit. Let's check where the world is with regards to how many typical Africans or black coaches would be there. It's not a bad question. It's not controversial, but it is a true reflection of where the world stands with regards to football. So why I'm going there, it also points at not only the players, not only the game, also to the coaches, that there has to be a platform created for African coaches to enjoy the highest and the biggest stages of the football in the world. And also saying to the players that come from Africa, whether it's your players from up north or even here in the south, let's go out there and embrace this as a World Cup. When we were going through preparation, as I was observing and thinking about, Steve, where are you guys going? I got a feeling it's like South Africa was going to Korea, Japan, or South Africa was going to play in Germany 2006, or South Africa was going to play in Brazil 2014. This is a World Cup. It's only that it's World Cup for clubs. But the mandate and the theme remains the same. We are going to sell an African product. We are going to compete with the rest of the world. But we as Africans, what are we bringing on the table? And it should not only be Mamelodi Sundowns going out to the Club World Cup to compete. It should be an African team. When they profile us, if the Asians, I'm saying Asians, I'm not saying Ulsan. If the Brazilians, I'm not saying Flamengo, I'm saying Brazilians. The Germans or Europeans, I'm not saying Borussia Dortmund. When they profile us, they don't profile Mamelodi Sundowns only. They go deeper and profile the African athlete, the qualities, characteristics, weaknesses, and strengths of an African team. And then they'll go deeper into the detail of every individual. We cannot move away from the fact that we are African, and our qualities and characteristics will forever remain African. So as we go out there and export this culture, this sport, we are going to reflect on what African football is all about. And we could not be far from what Africans stand for in terms of playing the game. So that's one thing we have to be mindful about when we go to the Club World Cup. When we land in the US, they're not going to say this is a Club World Cup team. They're going to say this is an African team. We are African. And we need to take pride in that. And I've been posing a question to some of our players, saying to them, sometimes we don't go deep enough to discover the purpose of what we are doing. I think we take things so light. This is just one of those matches, one of those tournaments. No, it's bigger and deeper than that. African team going to campaign in the World Cup of Teams. It's an African team that's holding a flag. We are going there to represent Africans. And we have to reflect that. In my opinion, the quality of the t-shirt that I'm wearing and the tracksuit, if Borussia Dortmund or anybody else is sponsored by Puma, the quality must be the same. It should never be that when they offer apparel to an African team, it has to be of inferior quality. The respect must be equal. So, which is what I'm saying. And when I stand next to another colleague or counterpart who comes from a different continent as an African, I must also feel represented and I must stand there with pride, knowing that I'm also human. There's a lot that we're fighting. It's not only football. The biggest mistake we make in our lives is to consider sport a sport. It is a war that is fought without weapons, where we fight for the people who cannot be there. All Africans who cannot be in the World Cup are going to be represented by us. And we have to make sure that we represent them well. The myth and the misconception of the world thinks Africa is one country. Big mistake. We must teach that. The world thinks Africa is about poverty, disease, and all this. We have to get rid of such myths. So when you go out there and stand as an African, you must stand tall with pride and forget the background and all that had happened. You stand here to represent Africans, and we have to be proud. And Sundowns is taking that to the world.
Coach, looking at the whole euphoria around the Club World Cup, and Sundowns being one of the teams that is going there. In your career, how far does it range in your life and with the players that you have, and what is the word that you spread around the players, looking at the magnitude of this tournament?
In 2050, this unique group of players who are now going to the Club World Cup, when they look back, maybe some of them will be club bosses, will be coaches, team managers. You know what they'll be saying? If I knew what I know now, because of experience, what they're going through is just something that they are used to. It's normal. Wait up until this moment becomes a memory and they reflect. They read about opinion formed by you guys with regards to what Mamelodi Sundowns did in terms of changing the perception about African football. And when Mamelodi Sundowns started campaigning in the Cup Champions League and all that, it was not a big thing. But the world is looking at us when we can't win the cup, the championship, because they're saying it is very important that you are there and win it. But previously it was okay. We would come back and they would say, man, well done for making the final. But now, because we know exactly what it means, it is deeper. So this group of players, when they've retired or become coaches, they may regret or they will celebrate this platform. But for now, still a moment. Wait up until it becomes a memory. It is something extremely significant. I've been to the World Cup. We qualified South Africa for 2002 Korea, Japan. It was Carlos Queiroz, Trot Moloto, Roger Desa. We worked with him. We may not have gone to the World Cup, but we understood what it meant to prepare an African team to go play against other continents in the World Cup. And this is the same. In my opinion, this is not only a football match. This is a World Cup. In my opinion, Ribeiro, Allende, Onyango, Shalulie, all those folks are not by any means people who come from other countries. They are going to represent South Africa. And this South African team is going to represent Africa. That's where we stand. And the minute we embrace that pride and understanding, then there's deeper sense and deeper meaning.
Good luck.
I hope you understand. Nobody is deeper than football, guys. We simplify things. But this is deep. You know what's going to happen? We'll walk there with an ordinary tracksuit and we don't care. We'll be labeled. So how we carry ourselves, how we go on with business is a reflection of what Africans are all about. So there's pride at stake. It's bigger than what you think it is.
Coach, why do you have my bag?